We are at turn 7 of Monday Night Dominions. We have another round of expansion. People are being mostly successful. We've got some Diplo cooking up. Uruk has continued their very aggressive expansion, expanding 5 provinces away from their original cap location, deep into Ind and Pythium territory.
That's only 4. Come on.
Is it 4? No, you're right, it's only 4. But the fact that he's gone through these 2 lakes really makes it seem further.
Yes.
I think we'll touch on in the chat. There's been some really aggressive Diplo. Pythium's been trying to either get Uruk to give up some of that land or to have other people attack him, and Uruk is having none of it. Though Uruk actually has agreed to give up the province of 190 here. No word yet on what's going to happen to Province 7, but I'm sure Ind is not super happy that Uruk is there. So Uruk is not making a lot of friends to start out with.
Yeah, but I kind of like, the big dick energy Uruk is bringing to the table. He's got an awake, he's got a strong bless. Troops just sort of inherently counter Pythium's troops at the start of the game. So I think it's a good strategy to, be a little aggressive in taking land against a neighbor who you have a good matchup against. Uruk knows that if Pythium were to start a 1v1 at this point in the game, they would both lose. So he can be reasonably confident that as long as if he's trying to hold the cap circle of Pythium, of course Pythium's going to take that 1v1. But if he's just pushing a little bit and not agreeing to favorable terms for Pythium with an NAP, it should be fine. The trick is that if you're using this sort of greedy expansion strategy, carrying a big stick, taking some land from someone who can't really fight back, you really need to make sure you've got your other borders shored up and you've got plenty of sort of friends, so you're not setting yourself up for a dog pile inspired by the person who you have kind of backed a little bit into a corner. So hopefully, if we're cheering for Uruk, and given how much we're covering Uruk, maybe we are. I'd like to see Uruk make some sort of deal with Calum, which seems viable given that Calum sort of got the good end of the territory as it stands right now, given that Uruk has expanded the other direction. And then Uruk should sort of do everything it can to, stay on the good side of Pythium, see maybe if they can invade someone together, or similarly with Calum, invade someone together. Best way to keep someone on your side.
Yeah, I agree. Uruk can definitely fight Pythium, can maybe even fight Arco, but Calum is definitely a good ally to have. If Uruk can pull that off, I think with only Urmor and Pythium and Ind around, I think Uruk can play a little ballsy. But
yeah, and I think it makes sense for Calum too, because if you show Calum on the map, Calum's got a huge chunk of sort of land to continue expanding into. Calum and Uruk are in the lead, right? They don't want to throw away the lead by getting into a 1v1 at this point.
Yeah, I should show the provinces
if
real quick.
If they've got each other's back, not a lot else can threaten them too much at this point.
Yeah, let's take a look at the provinces here.
Sorry to interrupt you. They're both like good early game nations. You've got the good Uruk troops and the good Bless and the Awake. You've got the Calum Awake and the flying, meaning that early invasions can be a double defeat. No one's going to want to invade them unless it's a dogpile. And the two of them allying helps prevent it being a dogpile.
No, I agree. It's a very strong combo. There hasn't been a lot of diplomatic moves between them. Mostly people are just making peace at the moment. Notable exceptions are Urmor here. Not a lot of people are making peace with Urmor. I think they've seen their maybe less than super powerful Bless, and people feel like maybe Urmor is going to be on the menu early. But we'll have to see how that happens. Uruk and Calum are currently tied for first, so we will have to see if they can hang on to that lead. It would definitely be a good partnership. If Uruk wants to keep hold of its early game lead, they do have to stop doing things like this. So here we've got an Uruk expansion. These are very powerful chariots. These cost 200 gold a pop. They've got fear and trample, and when they die, they turn into mushus, which are also quite powerful in their own right. But what Uruk's done is going to run them directly into a pile of barbarians. Let's see how this goes. Yep. And they all die. So that is not generally how you want to use chariots. The thing about barbarians is they do a ton of damage, and chariots really do not want to be surrounded. Now, these chariots actually have unsurroundable, so they can deal with a number of hits before their defense starts getting reduced, but you really need to have them in the back so that they do not hit the really high DPS troops like barbarians early. So here we have another expansion, shows a little bit better use of chariots. So having chariots in the back corner so they intercept second is a very good play. So if you see here, now in this case, the chariots hit basically at the same time. Now that's okay, right? They do lose the defense, and the chariots hitting the archers is totally fine. But I think Aryu has made considerably better use of chariots. I might have even held and attacked in that particular situation. So here's another chariot expand for Aryu. So you see here that the chariots went forward too quickly, and the spearmen didn't actually intercept them before they basically got lanced. So I think this results in 1 or 2 chariot losses and the chariots actually routing, but it didn't end up being a significant difference here. I tend to put my chariots a little bit further back and maybe even have them on hold and attack while I have my other guys on attack. But I think, you know, Aryu here is showing you, see, 21, you do lose half of them, but, well, they ran to heavy cavalry. Those heavy cavalry were going to hit you no matter what. Yeah, so diplomatically, I think, you know, that's how things are basically shaking out. We've got Uruk and Pythium feuding a little bit, but not too much. And then we have everyone kind of thinking, ooh, maybe Ermor is someone we shouldn't make a peace deal with. But yeah, that's basically the thing.
He's pretty weak early, and we know he's going to get strong later. So it's pretty easy for anyone with decent priests, and a lot of the neighbors he has do have decent priests, to just look at him as a good first war target.
Yeah,
we'll have to see what Diplo Ermor tries to pull out to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, we don't want our analysis to become like the deterministic factor here. So if we say people are going to attack Ermor, then people attack Ermor, but we will see how much power we have on in this particular aspect. One interesting thing to note is that with some really good early site searching, you know, I really like Aryu. Aryu is a nation that's near and dear to my heart, especially DE Aryu, and so I'm like to talk out how the Aryu player is doing. They haven't been expanding crazy well. They don't have an awake. Their god is a little lackluster, in my opinion, but they've been using their chariots well, and they've found the adept of the Iron Order in their cap circle. This is a big deal. Aryu does not have Astral, and Aryu does not have Big Earth, so this is going to be a big pickup for Aryu in terms of stuff they can do. The gem income is always nice, and getting it this early means by the time the mid game comes around, they're going to have the gems to actually use these, you know, these spells they can get.
Yes, those are some of the best indie mages you can pick up.
Absolutely. All right, cool. Well, we'll have to see how this diplomatic situation shapes up moving forward.